Hi guys, this is Barry Actual here. Welcome to the Rolls and Recoil podcast. I got my buddy
Parker Ops
here with me, and we're actually missing one. There's supposed to be 3 hosts, and he just couldn't make it. He actually is at drill currently. Don't know what he wants to be called yet, so we're just gonna leave him unnamed for the moment because he might not want us to say his real name. So we'll go ahead and
It's okay.
get started. Any hoot nanny. So
what all do we have here on the table so far?
So basically, we just got a couple of pistols. This is my personal, your personal, obviously. And then for some scenery, I went ahead and threw up a couple of my dice towers that I actually 3D printed a little while back. This is just a standard castle stairway dice tower. And that guy over there is actually my favorite so far. It is I can't remember the Desert's Kiss STL file. And it's basically a decaying skull with some rocks and that kind of stuff around it. I haven't had a chance to paint these guys yet. I kind of want to leave this guy black because I've taken to calling it the Obsidian Castle. That guy, on the other hand, I want to make him more like bone-like.
And that'd be cool.
Maybe like some shrubbery around the base. Go to Hobby Lobby, get
some of that fake moss and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
Sick.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. And then I got a couple of my D&D books. I couldn't fit all of them on the table without breaking it. I have a collection of about 22 books.
He's got a lot.
Some starter kits, that kind of stuff. I also have about $700+ worth of minis that I like to bust out every once in a while. I am the current DM of our group that likes to get together every once in a while. Parker is actually one of my players.
100%. I
got some crazy ones.
It's fun. It's really cool. Especially the last one we did.
Oh yeah,
for the bachelor party.
Yeah, so our buddy that's a drill, he actually DM'd that one. It was my bachelor party, and the DM that was supposed to come out actually didn't show. So I was like, cool, now I got to DM my own bachelor party, the one thing I didn't want to do. And our buddy was like, nah, bro, I'm going to run home and get my stuff. I got you. And it was actually, we played for like 6.5 hours straight, drinking beer, whiskey, and just having a grand old time.
It got to the point where everybody was passing out at the table.
Oh, dude. Our DM, we'll just call him DM for now because he's at drill. DM was wrapped around my toilet by the end of the night. Just blanket over, wrapped around the toilet, and I was like, "Ha ha! You passed out first."
It got to a point after after he was doing his thing in the bathroom. It was just me and one of the other players.
Morse.
Yeah, Morse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just me and Morse, and we went on for an additional 2 hours.
Yeah.
Of that campaign.
So we started a joke. My gaming chair was actually the DM chair, and we started a joke because DM sat in it, was playing all good, all of a sudden sick in the bathroom. And then my other buddy, White, he sat in it and was trying to take over and instantly just spinning. And he was like, I can't DM, guys. I need to lay down. And so he lay down on my couch, rolled over, passed out. And I was like, there's only 2 of us left playing. You know what? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. Peace out, guys. And Morris and Parker were like, fuck no, we're going to keep playing. And I was like, cool. I went to my bed, and I passed out. I woke up, and I was still drunk. I was like, hoo-wee. And then I proceeded to make everybody breakfast, and I was the only one that ate. Everybody was like, I'm so nauseous.
No, I ate. Hold on. You made some bacon.
I made bacon, yeah.
I ate a lot of bacon.
That is true. That I took out 6 pounds of bacon for the bachelor party because this guy really only eats bacon. So he ate 5.5 pounds of bacon to himself. Everybody else had a half a pound between the other 5 of us. So he loves bacon.
That's the most eaten thing that consists of my diet. Bacon, cheese, and bread,
and beer.
Well, not so much beer anymore.
The claws.
I got the Never mind. It's not bad. It's really not that bad.
I like the mango one, but it really only tastes like somebody literally chewed up a mango, swallowed it, and then spit in the can.
Way to ruin it for me.
Well, you...
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
The black cherry is not too bad. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking something far worse. I'm drinking Michelob Ultra.
That's not bad.
Because I am slightly... Well, I'm overweight, and I don't need carbs. So...
I don't need gluten.
So, anyways, moving on. So, why don't you tell me how you got into D&D?
It started really early. I want to say 2013, like 10 years ago. One day, my brother asked me if I wanted to come over and play D&D, and I was like, "You're a nerd. I don't want to." And he goes, "No, you got to try it." And at the time, me and my brother were really big into playing other games like Skyrim, Dishonored.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of stuff like that. And it really, he kind of based the idea of D&D towards some of the games that we would both play a lot. And he didn't really necessarily convince me, but he kind of like go ahead, just give it a try.
Come on, go try it.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever. I'll come over and try it once.
Yeah.
Which led into a 3-year campaign.
I have yet to do... Actually, no, I think my longest campaign that I was able to get, like, consistent games in with my players was probably only 2 years. And we didn't even get halfway through the book. It was actually Storm King's Thunder. We only got about halfway through that book, and some drama happened between a couple of the players and myself and another player, and I was hosting at my house, and I was living at home at the time. I was probably only like 19, maybe 20, and my grandma was like, "Yeah, no, he can't be here anymore." And I was like, "All right, bet." And I told him to get the hell out. And after that, we went from having 6 players to only having 4, 3, and then the 4 always had conflicts and scheduling conflicts, I should clarify. And so it ended up just getting put on the back burner. I had a couple of my players that wanted to try DMing, so they came up with their own campaigns, like homebrew. And so because we were doing, oh, you want to try? Okay, go ahead and create a homebrew. Okay, I'll do a campaign, but since we're so far off track, I'll just do a homebrew of my own. You'll do a homebrew, you'll do a homebrew, you'll do a homebrew, you'll do a homebrew, and it just ended up going like that until we finally stopped doing sessions. And basically what happened was I moved into a very small 1-bedroom apartment, as you remember.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got a puppy, and that little demon that I love to death will not leave people alone at all. She's just... Only reason she's not in here bugging us is because I have the door closed and I have a dog bed in front of it so that you can't hear her whine.
So, when it comes down to D&D,
I might clarify that she's not alone. My wife is out there.
Yes.
We're not leaving dogs alone. Don't worry. It's all good.
They're still being loved. So when it comes to D&D, you had mentioned that everybody's doing homebrews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would you prefer doing a random homebrew, just like a random thought, something in the back of their head, and they're just like, hold on, let's do this, or would you do something by the books?
So even if I'm doing it by the book, I don't do it by the book.
Right.
So you know me, I like to throw stuff in. I like to mix it up because this day and age, almost everybody has played one of the campaigns that I have. So they all know the content that's in the book, except now I own I think I'm only missing 6 books actually from 5th edition. And 90% of these books, everybody's like, I've never seen that before. That looks dope. When are we playing? When I get a bigger place.
Right. So I had an idea.
But to answer your question, I like homebrew a lot, but I'm the DM that doesn't write my homebrew out. I play it by ear and it's in my head.
Yeah.
So it keeps people on their toes because even I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
No, that's perfect. So if you were to do some kind of homebrew opposed to the traditional Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that, thinking more of like change up the game, because I've seen that there's been some books and or some game ideas for D&D that came out, like Star Wars based, or like
Yeah.
different stories and stuff like that, or different overall, space age, medieval time, modern day. Like, if there was one thing that you could choose that you would want to try that you haven't yet, which one would it be? Just one.
So it's funny that you asked that question because I've already been like writing one out in my brain.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not gonna give too much away because it's one of the ones that I want you guys to play.
Oh, that's not fair.
But basically, there are only druids, barbarians, sorcerers, and fighters, and then rangers. I'm gonna prohibit all other classes because it's gonna take place Viking era. So your area, right? Well, it's gonna be in the area, so it works. But you're gonna have a long ship. You're gonna plunder. You're gonna pillage. You're gonna have a lot of conflict. But it's all gonna be based off of Norse mythology.
Okay.
So I've already been planning that one out a little bit. I've been keeping a couple of notes stashed up in my brain cavity. So I'm actually really excited for that because that was one of the ones that I want to do kind of soon.
So I have an answer for my own question.
Yeah.
So one that I somebody had brought up to me a while back. I want to say this was about 2017, 2016. Somebody had brought up the idea of doing like a modern age Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh, yeah,
so more of like
so
in the time that we're in right now.
Like all these deities, more like
cars, you got work, you got all this other stuff. Not saying that's necessarily the thing. We're not playing Sims. So it's more of like if you were to take yourself and put yourself into a situation where, obviously Dungeons and Dragons, you travel, you complete these quests, you do all these crazy things, you have these really cool stories that you create within this game. But think of it as the way he described it was you're playing as a different person. You're playing as somebody within this time and age, which made me think like, what if we like? I thought it was a cool idea. What if we were to play a game, right? A game of D&D where we play as our own individual selves.
Okay.
And we actually base our stats and everything
off of our physical
ourselves.
Attributes. Okay.
I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you can make it in any scenario you want. I mean, you can turn it into a Red Dawn scenario. You can turn it into, complete apocalyptic, disaster, whatever you want.
So, what's funny is that wasn't the only campaign I've been thinking of. It's kind of the same thing you're talking about, but Western. I've been thinking about doing a Western campaign.
That'd be pretty cool.
Gunslingers, Old West, cowboy, and I really thought that people would like that because me, I'm fucking old timey. Like, let's be honest. Like, I have a Dan Wesson revolver that my grandpa gave me. I love 30-30s. I love lever actions.
100%.
I'm very, and I straight up told my wife because I wear cowboy boots. I want a cowboy hat, but she doesn't let me buy a cowboy hat because they're expensive because I want a Stetson. That I was born in the wrong era, like 100%. Like, I believe that I belong, like, in the West. Yes, there's fucking dysentery. I know. You don't have to come at me. I know that life was hell back then, but just the nostalgia, all of the cool things, the gold rush, the silver rush, all this shit, like, and fuck inflation. He's not wrong. But yeah, I've been thinking about like doing like a Western old timey, like you get fucking like people trying to sell you these like snake oil shit, and you're like, okay, and you dump it in your wound and fucking nothing happens. You're still hurt, but now you might get an infection. So I think that'd be really cool.
Do you want to make it that our next campaign?
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down for that.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. I think about so I am what I do professionally is I am an installation / repair technician for my local ISP, which is an internet service provider. And so I'm driving around in my van all the time, and when there's no work, I'm just sitting in my van listening to music.
We will get random calls from this guy.
And
he will stay on the phone for hours.
So, me, Morse, and White actually, the other day, spent 6 hours on the phone just straight. Because they drive truck, and I'm just sitting in my van, and when I'm not sitting in my van, I'm inside of a customer's house for 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes at most.
Even then, he's still on the phone.
And even then, I got my AirPod in, so customer doesn't know any better, and half the time, customers are cool as hell. They just go, "Oh, what was that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone," and they're just like, "Okay," like they don't give a shit. And if they do care, they'll go, "Oh, do you mind not being on the phone in my house?" Absolutely. Let me go ahead and take my AirPod out and
Talk to you
close the
guys
call.
later.
Yeah, I'll call you guys back when I'm done here. But it's funny because I'll be at the top of a telephone pole, tied in, and Morse will be talking shit in my ear. And I'm like, "Listen here, you used to work this job and you quit. You don't know how it is anymore. Fuck you." And he's like, and he just likes to talk shit, and I love Morse to death. He's one of the closest friends I've gotten, and I've only known him since like July.
Not very, about as long as I've known him.
And it's funny because when I got married in October, so a few months, like 2 months later, one of my groomsmen backed out last minute, which I want to kill him for. And Morse was like,
doesn't mean that.
"I will absolutely be one of your groomsmen." And I was like, "Bet." So friendship of 2 months. We're already super close because we spent all that time on the phone, and he got to be one of my groomsmen.
100%. Morris is. He's the coolest guy ever. He's super nice.
Super, like, down to earth, sweet.
He's calm. He's
he'll fucking tell you like it is.
100%.
Like, he's not gonna beat around the bush. Like, if you're being fucking stupid, he's gonna be like, "Dude, sit the fuck
You're
down.
being
You're
kinda
being
dumb, my
fucking
guy."
dumb." But yeah, I fucking love Morse to death. And on that topic, DM, one of our other buddies, he's actually the one that introduced me to Morse and a couple of our buddies. CB, he's fucking moving down here soon.
100%.
So he just got his bonus. So he's
Really?
trying to pay off all of his debt like way faster than he was expecting, so they can move up here.
No way.
Yeah. I was talking to Morse about it on the phone. He's like, "Dude, I'm so fucking excited."
Because that's when he's sick.
It probably like pushed his plans up ahead like maybe 6 months.
So
it's still gonna be a little while before CB moves out here, but hey.
So on this topic with our friend group kind of expanding out and everything, you know, obviously with DM, you introducing me to DM, and then branching out to Morse and his whole family and everything. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met my girlfriend at the time.
I'm a friendship matchmaker.
100%.
So I
should stop saying that.
And then I met this guy at welding class. We have a trade school here locally. I'm not gonna name. That has welding programs. Well, I took welding. He took welding, and right off the rip, he was like, "Oh hey, blah 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 blah." You know what his nickname was? Waldo. Because this motherfucker would disappear.
Couldn't find me.
Gone.
So at the top of the rafters, so you know when you walk up the stairs and you have the racks over on the side there, it's next to the railing and stuff like that with the tubing and all that stuff. Well,
and the square steel and bar stock and everything.
The top right, I had climbed up and there was one facing down the stairs. It's probably still up there because I never took it down.
I hate you.
So what would happen is when I would get a notification on my phone that there was movement coming up the stairs, I would just sit there quiet and just wait. They would come up, grab their metal, to go back down, and then I'd go back to watching my YouTube videos. Because all I needed to do was do my tests, do my welds, and then I was done. And I would get that done within 15 to 30 minutes while we were there for an hour, 2 hours, however long you're there for that time frame.
2 hours and 15 minutes was the scheduled time of the class.
Yeah, because a lot of us went there for the last
half a day or like at the end of the day.
Last 2 periods of school.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I would do my stuff and hang out in there. Although, towards the end, I started getting back into blacksmithing. So another thing that I do outside of my regular job, obviously with the Parker Ops, is blacksmithing, woodworking, all that stuff. So I started using all the scrap metals that I could find in the weld shop to make all my knives, swords, all my tools and different things that I create.
Yeah, because at this trade school, we didn't just have mild steel. We had high carbon steel. We had stainless steel. We had everything under the sun except for titanium. We had aluminum, everything except titanium, because titanium was just way too expensive for the school to.
And like they would let a bunch of high school students mess around with
and
titanium.
people took them all the time, and nobody gave a shit because it was scrap.
It would go missing pretty quick because if you think about it,
especially
like, I got a piece of titanium.
Yeah, and fuck, I was gonna say something.
Well.
Too late.
About it.
It's gone.
Well, we were talking about how I would hide in the hole.
No, it was something to do with something else. I can't remember.
Oh, either way. Well, how about this? So, other than the school and the trades and stuff like that, obviously we talked about D&D and then where we came from, and then talked about a little bit more of our personal life. So, how about we move on to the other two objects that are sitting on the table?
So, it's funny because this pistol that he has actually used to be mine.
It was his, yeah.
Without the optic and without the Gucci-ness.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
It was just a standard CZP-09. I bought it to be a duty gun, and I wanted a full-size pistol just because we live in America and fuck it.
Well, you chose the right pistol.
Oh, I loved that pistol, dude, and I was so sad to sell it to you, but I really wanted
you should shoot
my current pistol. So tell me how you got into guns.
Oh, get into guns. Okay. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I don't care.
I'll go first. So, I got into guns early. I want to say like when I was in like elementary school. Let's say like post 2010, somewhere in that area. My dad took me out shooting for the first time, and at the time we only had I want to say 4 guns to shoot. One of them was a .38 Special snub nose revolver. The other was a original 1902 .38 Auto Colt pocket hammer.
And I tried stealing it, and his dad almost Ryan Reynolds me.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the gun itself is with that one is 121 years old now.
Yeah.
And still shoots beautifully. I love that gun.
It's gorgeous. Just it's not mint condition. It's been used. It's worn.
It still has the original blue on it.
Yeah, it's been well taken care of, and it is gorgeous.
It was won in a punch board.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
By my great-grandfather. And passed down since. Funny enough, I guarantee you that Colt's not going to be passed down to me because we ended up finding a second one that was only a couple serial numbers away from my dad's. So now I own a 1902. And it was around, with the serial numbers, it was in the factory at the same time.
That's crazy.
It's super cool. They're twins. But shortening that, back to when I originally got into guns, it was the 4 guns. It was the .38 Special. It was the Colt, a .22 Woodsman Colt, which is used a lot for .22 shooter, like competition shooters, like collectible items, like .22 Plinkster. He's obsessed with those things. He's got several of them. It was that, and then a 12 gauge J.C. Higgins Long Tom.
Oh, okay.
That 12 gauge is about as tall as Bear right here.
To be fair, I'm not very tall.
So
I got a long torso. That's why we look like we're a similar height. No.
So that shotgun is up to my shoulders, just standing. And at the time, I was, how old was I? I want to say maybe 12 or 13, maybe. And I shot it for the first time. Oh, no, there was another gun. It was the 303 British.
Oh, yeah, that's
the Lee Enfield.
Your dad has had that.
It was a number 3 Mark 1. So I shot the .38 Special, went great, awesome. Shot the Colt, fell in love with that thing. I am obsessed with that gun, and now I have my own, so I don't have to obsess with my dad's, and I can mess with my own. But that 303, I needed one.
Yeah.
You know what I have now?
What's funny?
I have one.
You know what's funny? Hannah's dad has one.
And then you have a weird one. It's based off of the Lee Enfield. It's a Winchester, right?
So it is a Lee Enfield. Technically, it's an American version. So it is a.
It's not a Mauser action.
No, it's a 1904. I think is what it is. Yeah. Lee Enfield, and it's made by Winchester, which Winchester did not produce very many of them. So I kind of have a rare Lee Enfield.
It's an oddball.
But,
it's pretty similar.
Yeah, but somebody down the line before I got it actually took the original stock off of it, drilled holes into the top of it to mount an optic, drilled holes in the side of it to try to mount an optic, and it's not mint. It's worth like $400 maybe, but
what's it worth to you?
It's priceless to me because it was my dad's.
Yeah, exactly.
So actually what happened was I was 18 and don't freak out, California. It's okay. I bought this gun in a Chuck E. Cheese parking lot from this dude I met on Facebook Marketplace.
So at the
time, it was legal at the time.
You could do private sale.
Private sale.
Yeah.
And so I bought it for my dad. I took it home. I only spent like $100 on it. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm getting one over on this guy. Which I did. Absolutely. Took it, gave it to my dad. My dad absolutely fell in love with it. 30-06, because it was in the American version. So it wasn't 303 British. It wasn't 308, because 308 wasn't around yet. It was 30-06. And when my dad passed away, I got it back. So I actually still have that gun to this day.
To state, 308 was around. He's what he means is for that rifle. For that specific rifle?
308 didn't exist yet in 1904.
Oh, I thought you meant for like the conversions.
No, for conversions, yeah, 308. You could get a different bolt.
Because some people will take 303s and convert them to different calibers, either 30-06 or get a new barrel made for a 308.
Yeah. But at that time, I'm pretty sure 308 wasn't created until the 60s, I want to say. I could be wrong. Fact check me. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't necessarily know when they were made.
I just know what's fun to shoot. That's all I give a fuck about.
All I do know is the Colt Patterson was patented in 1836. I do know that.
Of course. But yeah, so I have my dad's 30-06 Winchester Lee Enfield. I have my grandfather's Dan Wesson 357. I have my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. I have a Glock 19 because it was like my second pistol and I didn't give a fuck.
Glock 19s are not bad.
I got an AR-15 hanging on the wall like right next to the camera, and yeah, I've had guns for a while. Yeah, you got into guns because of your dad.
Yeah, so
I got into guns because of my father as well, even though at the time he was a felon. Because you can get your gun rights back if you pay a certain amount of money. You stay fucking
go through the legal action.
Yeah, you go through the legal action. You can make sure you can get your gun rights back, depending on your state. Just so you guys know, by the way, obviously we have some drinks. All the firearms in the room are cleared and safe, and there is no ammo in this room. Nope. I wanted to clarify that real quick. They are completely safe. Obviously, there's going to be no hiccups in here. Absolutely. The wife in the other room has secured everything. Clear and safe.
There are no magazines.
Nothing in here.
Nothing. Just wanted to state that fact real quick. Nothing.
We should have done that to begin with, but we were busy talking. But yeah, so I got into guns because of my father as well. And I remember I was living in a double wide trailer because we're white trash. I remember my dad having a double barrel 10 gauge. Not a 12 gauge.
You had a 10 gauge?
A 10 gauge. Double barrel side by side.
No way.
I can't remember what fucking brand it was because I was like 6 years old. And I was like, I'm going to shoot that. And he was like, all right, you're going to fucking learn the hard way. So him being a very intelligent man only loaded one shell in it when I went to shoot it. I shit you not. 6 years old, I was always at that time I was kind of scrawny, but I've always been kind of bulky. Like, I was skinny, but I was wide, if that makes any sense. And I shit you not, boom, ass over tea kettle, flew back, and I thought I was dying. I thought my chest was caved in. I was screaming bloody murder and just like, ah!
So for those of you who don't understand the gauges, right? So you have everything from like 410 to 20 gauge, 16, 12 gauge.
They even have 28 gauge now, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, 28 as well. So the smaller the number, the bigger the bore.
The round.
So there's like 2 bore, 4 bore, all this other stuff.
Yeah, so like the Russian KS-23 shotgun is technically a 4 gauge shotgun. And to put in perspective, basically a 12 gauge shotgun, you can fit a 50 BMG round all the way inside of that shotgun, and still the round itself looks tiny.
It still rattles around in it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And that's a 50 caliber. That's a half-inch projectile. And there's still plenty of room. So the bore of a 12 gauge is relatively close to about an inch in diameter. 10 gauge is about 1.27 inches in diameter. And it was a 3-inch shell. And that motherfucker put me on my ass.
So, speaking of that, at the time when I first shot with those guns, that Long Tom, I shot just a standard birdshot round out of it, and it was manageable, but I felt like I was gonna die. It was the first time I ever shot a shotgun, and I was barely a teenager. But then I shot a slug out of it and completely reconsidered my complete existence.
Right. Yeah.
But coming from there, after trying it, shooting for the first time, I got really interested in just how each one of these different pistols and different rifle, the rifle and the shotgun,
and
how
different cartridges, like
everything worked so
ammo
different.
type, like calibers.
Yeah.
Like when I was little, I didn't know there was fucking all these different things.
Figured everything did the same.
I thought they always shared the same bullet.
Yeah. So
that 10 gauge, I was fucking
you wanted nothing
terrified.
to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. And as I got older, I was like, oh, these things are really fucking cool. Like, okay, let me learn, the basic rules of gun safety. Let me, do my best to be safe and, not be a child about this, because guns are something you have to take extremely serious. Because all it takes is one mistake.
I made a mistake and I almost died.
On that note, yeah, right. On that note, we're going to move over to our TikTok segment, kind of ish thing. TikTok's very
finicky,
brutal about weapons, so we're going to go ahead and take these off the table and start our next segment of TikTok. So I'm just going to get up and move these out of the way real quick, and I'll talk to you guys here in a second.
Sounds good. Have you shot this since I modified it?
No, I have not. I want to.
Dude,
obviously.
It's weird. Like a good weird.
So I was the only one with that gun. I was able to shoot I want to say a half-inch swinger disc from 60 yards, and I was the only one able to hit it because those irons are just fucking dead on. Well,
obviously there's no rear iron sight on it anymore, but with that pistol, now I have the highest score in the company. I'm a CZ fanboy now.
I don't blame you. You see why I didn't want to let it go?
You did, and I'm glad you did, because otherwise I would not have seen the light.
I'm not glad that I did, but at the same time, I love my current EDC. So
that was one thing we never talked about.
We can come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. Well, anyways, so welcome back. Now it's the TikTok
segment.
Safe.
Anyways, I'll go ahead and reintroduce ourselves real quick, just because this part is going to be compressed and edited down for a TikTok. So, I'm Bear Actual. I got
Parker Ops
here with me, and welcome to Rolls and Recoil. We're actually missing our third host. He's off at drill.
DM.
We have currently coincided, because we don't know what he wants to be called, in calling him DM. I guess we could also call him Soldier with the arrow, or Little Green Arrow. He likes to go by that stuff anyways.
We'll figure it out once he
once he's here and once he can tell us. Pretty much. Yeah, so we're actually, it's just the two of us currently. Basically what this podcast is it is about our love of Dungeons and Dragons and freedom. Is what we'll call it.
Amongst other than Dungeons and Dragons.
Pew-pews. But you'll have to go over to YouTube for that. But yeah, so we just talk about all things tabletop, video games, all kinds of stuff actually. And we fucking just get together on a Saturday night, drink some beer, and talk.
Speaking of video games, let's get into a video game talk.
Hit me with
what do you think about Fallout?
Fallout. So I love the originals. Anything after 4 feels watered down.
So like you're a big New Vegas fan.
New Vegas, Fallout 3, in my opinion, was pretty much the last real good Fallout that they came out with. But New Vegas, 100%. Angry Postman that got shot in the head hunting down the person that shot him? Fuck yeah. 100%. That is my game.
So you know they're coming out with a live action series.
I saw that, and after witnessing what they did to fucking Halo, I'm not excited.
Okay, so I have been trying to branch away from any spoilers. I heard about this literally 2 days ago. And ever since I heard about it, I'm avoiding the internet. I'm staying off my phone, especially when it comes to certain applications that may show it that I'm on, like Instagram and stuff like that. I'm pretty stoked. I saw a picture of the power armor.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I
feel like it's going to be good. Obviously, it's going to be a little different, but
yeah,
it's branching within that. As far as I'm aware, after Fallout 4.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, after seeing what they did, who was it? HBO did to the Halo series, I'm skeptical.
I still haven't seen the Halo series.
It's not worth it.
That's fair.
Like,
I'll go back and play.
We won't get into that right now. They fucked it up, just like when...
It's like video game politics.
Who was it? Fucking... They made the live-action movie of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Did you see that they're coming out with another one?
Yes, but this is actually the original creators putting input in. They're actually writing the show through
Good,
Netflix.
because that first one sucked.
Yeah, that live-action movie was fucking atrocious.
I saw it in theaters, and I shit you not, I went up to the stand and I told them I wanted my money back.
Well, as you can tell by the fact that our podcast has to do with Dungeons and Dragons, we are very much nerds. Video games,
100%.
Tabletop RPGs, anime, even cartoons. Like, we like what we like. If you got a problem, not sorry.
We're nerds. We like tactical stuff, and
we like a whole lot
all kinds of stuff.
A whole lot of things.
So, other than that, so obviously because of TikTok, what do you do with your TikTok? Like, what is your platform?
Originally, after we made that video with Copper,
right,
I attempted to shout out Uncle Copper, or Copperhead 347. He's the big homie. After that, I attempted to make tactical TikToks, and I got fucking striked.
It didn't go well.
Twice in a row. And so I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. So then I purchased a 3D printer, and I was like, okay, bet, let me make 3D printer content. And I tried that, didn't hardly get any views. I have one video that hit 40K, and it's of Parker and Copper dancing at DM's wedding. I'm like, so that's what I'm known for, is the Copper and Parker dance video. So that's cool.
He proposed to me, by the way.
He legitimately, I have it on video. I just haven't posted it.
Jokes on all of you who are fanboying or fangirling.
Hey, you don't judge.
It's 2023.
Almost 24.
It's
almost Christmas.
I feel old. Anyways, yeah, I had Uncle Copper propose to me.
Propose. He got down on one knee to tie his shoe.
He proposed, damn it!
Yeah, like 3 days later at the bar because he felt bad.
I accept the effort.
A proposal is a proposal. But yeah, so that's probably where you kind of know us from, is being in Uncle Copper's video. You might know me as the Tactical Rhino. I'm the boy that jiggled in the running video.
The Abrams.
But yeah, so that's kind of how we got started. I mean, I made a couple of TikToks before I met Copper. Mostly it was me working on my truck.
Yeah. And
then I started working full-time again, so I was just like, How my social media actually started was I used to live stream on Twitch after I got laid off during COVID. And I got to like 500 subs on Twitch. Nothing super crazy, but I was streaming every day just for fun. Didn't really make a whole bunch of money. I think that first year I made like maybe $200-$300. But I knew from then, like, you know, I was having fun. Go ahead. This is kind of something that I wanted to do, and it was just a matter of trying to find what best suited and what people want to watch. And I've noticed that you got your diehard fans. Like, I have a couple of fans that watch and like every one of my videos. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name because I'm barely on TikTok. But shout out to them. They're fucking cool as shit. They always leave comments on my videos. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got it restarted. I'll say I started streaming back in 2013, I want to say, on Twitch, just through my little shitty Xbox. And over the years, I've gone from Xbox to PC. I still kind of play on Xbox. But I don't live stream anymore because at that time I was streaming Skip from Tarkov.
Yeah.
When it was popular, and fuck that game. It made me go bald faster. Like that game stressed me out.
I've never played that game, and just watching it is stressful. Oh my God.
Yeah, because you go in, and even if you insure your shit, if you die and somebody takes your shit and gets out of the game, it's gone. It's fucking gone. Like, and if you're running like a good loadout, like 100,000 fucking rubles, your shit's gone. You ain't getting it back. Like, there's no point in fucking insuring a HK 416. Like, it's gone. Or even a fucking Vector now, dude. They're swiping Vector. So I was like, fuck Tarkov. So I'm kind of a glutton for punishment, as you know, because I went from Tarkov to Elden Ring. I am in New Game Plus 3 on PC, and I fucking love that game.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing it so much lately because I've been playing games like Operator, which is supposed to be like a milsim realistic shooter, which is actually really fun.
Is it?
It's in alpha right now, so it's still being developed, but it's being developed privately. So it's not through some big-ass corporation that really doesn't give a shit and just makes money. But I'll be honest, I stopped playing that because MW3 came out. I'm a COD fanboy. That's just how it is. There's good CODs, there's bad CODs.
I'm an early COD fan.
Modern Warfare and Black Ops 2, 100%. That is my shit.
100%.
I was so
1,000%.
I was so ecstatic when they relaunched the fucking servers. I was like,
that game.
Yes.
That game. Top tier.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely doodly.
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 Doodly. But yeah, so this is us. This is what we do. This video should be posted Monday, December 4th, more than likely, unless I get a wild hair at my ass and I edit it faster. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I have the stuff that I do on my TikTok. It's not super crazy. All I do is blacksmithing videos. I have one video of me in uniform, which I probably shouldn't have posted. Luckily, I blurred out all my patches and everything. But other than that, I do a lot of blacksmithing, custom knife work, jewelry. I make everything from knives, tools, engagement rings.
He also did his own custom Cerakote on his Gucci CZ.
Yeah, no, we'll get into that.
Absolutely,
100%. Because we'll get into our EDCs a little later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. It's been a while since I posted anything on TikTok, but I'm gonna be getting back into it, especially a little bit more personal. Not necessarily personal stuff, but for a while I was actually hiding my face on TikTok.
A day in the life of Parker.
So at the time, with my current job, I was working in a spot where I could not share my social media because there were children. I was working in a school, and with my position, I could not allow any of them to know any of my social media, so I had to hide it. So I had my TikTok, which was public to anybody and everybody who found it, and So I was hiding my face. I used a welding mask that my brother had custom drawn a super cool, like, evil smirk grin on. And that's what I used in welding, going back to the welding stuff. But it kind of just turned into my face for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew that was my mask. Everybody knew that was mine and wouldn't touch it. There was one person who actually stole my mask during welding. I don't remember his name. That blonde guy.
Oh, Trinity's boyfriend, right?
No, it was some random...
AJ.
No.
No?
No,
I have no fucking clue then.
I don't remember this guy's name. But somebody had taken it and claimed it as his. But I have a maker's mark that was inscribed on the inside of it that is also tattooed on me. So then I went, hey, you kind of stole my my welding helmet. He goes, no, this is mine. I've had it for years. Is that right? And tattoo, obviously, I'm not going to say where my tattoo is, but I was like, that's mine. It's right there. And he went, no, I put that there. So why has it been tattooed on me for 3 years? So I got my welding mask back.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it's Parker Ops. It was that, and then the first time I actually showed my face on TikTok was when we started making those videos with Copper. Yeah. So after that, I went,
might as well.
What am I doing? I mean,
people already knew it was you anyways.
Well,
so.
Okay. Friends and family and stuff like that. And then, unfortunately, like where I was working, some of the students eventually found out who I was. But then again, I don't work there anymore. So they're free to follow and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where, like, I don't want to say I felt like trapped behind it because I didn't really have a lot of followers anyways at the time.
You had over 1,000.
Because
we were able to live stream on TikTok. Yeah.
But if it wasn't for like Copper with those videos, I gained some. You gained a lot.
Oh yeah, I did.
You gained
it's the tactical rhino, baby.
Tactical rhino.
Everybody loves the tactical rhino.
So,
yeah, I went from
my boy can keep up.
Yeah, you went from like 1,000 plus followers to over 4,000 overnight, and I went from like
I think I'm at like $2,000.
Oh, are you?
I think so.
Oh, I went from like 60, maybe 100 to like over 7,000.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, okay, I have to make content. People are expecting it. Oh shit, here we go. And that's like right off the rip. Strike. Okay. Let me
try it again.
Yeah, let me try again. Strike. And I was like, fuck. And then, I was like, okay. Nothing freedom related. No pews, none of that. And that's when I started posting 3D printer content. But by then, I'm pretty sure I'm already shadow banned. So I get like 300 views, maybe. I'll hit over 1,000 views on a video every once in a while. But it is what it is.
My last couple videos that I did, and this was a while ago, they didn't get very many views or anything like that. But I really do want to start making videos again. Speaking of which, I have I still have DM's ring. I have another ring I got to work on. I have a chainsaw Damascus knife that I'm going to be posting video wise.
That would be dope.
And it's going to be a canister.
Really? You're doing canister this time around?
Yeah, actually, I did a test, and I have a full-fledged forged canister chainsaw Damascus blade that's sitting in my basement that I had already finished. Huh. And I did a test to make sure that everything was going to function right, make sure that my process was correct, and worked out flawless.
Ooh.
So now that I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera. I'm going to get everything recorded, and I'm going to post the whole process. I actually have, this is a custom order. So I'm going to get that done. And for the individual who custom ordered it, I'm not sure if you want your name posted or anything, but I will be having that posted soon. it's been a long process, and let alone with work on top of it,
Oh,
it
yeah.
gets kind of hard, especially with these videos. So there will be videos coming on Parker Ops soon, and if anything, hopefully I have some ideas for us so we can collaborate.
Yeah.
So there will be some videos on my end and your end.
Yeah, so we've already posted some videos together on all three of our TikToks, actually. We tend to hang out quite often because we live in relatively the same area.
A little too often.
Not enough. Only like at least 3 times a month. We have family dinners together.
So they're not friend dinners. We're all family.
Yeah,
they're family
it's family dinners. But yeah, we'll just go over, hang out, film a couple TikToks, eat food, hang out, drink beer.
The Twinkie.
Oh my god, I forgot about the Twinkie video.
So I searched you guys, and the first thing that pops up is the Twinkie video of all 3 of you with Morris, and they're just...
Morris DM'd me, yeah, we're just mowing on some... Yeah, I forgot about the Twinkie video, yeah. Yeah, lately our content's just us goofing off, which...
Like the tortilla slaps.
Oh my god, tortilla slaps.
Reigning champion.
Oh.
No. No.
I was gonna give you the dominant lion. But yeah, we're a couple. Well, we're a few dumb dudes that like to hang out and make videos.
We're a couple.
We're a few dumb dudes that like to hang out and film TikToks and just. Now
That's
we're
not
starting
on
the
camera.
podcast. We've been talking about starting the podcast for a while now, and yeah, we hope to see where this goes. If you guys want to see anything in particular, like if you want us to do an EDC reveal, you want us to talk in depth about our campaigns, you want to learn how to be a DM, anything like that, just go ahead and leave a comment and we'll make something for you. This is our first episode. This is supposed to be more of an introductory, and then we ended up going for over an hour already. So we're just going to go ahead and sign off. Bear Actual here.
Parker Ops.
And this was Rolls and Recoil. Have a good night, guys. Later.
Has it already been over an hour?